Good morning. This is Gwen Caldwell. I'm coming to you from Heart Ranch in the Black Hills of South Dakota. Uh, I apologize for the lighting, and I'm on vacation. Sorry. Get what you get today. No makeup, no beauty treatments, nothing. You just get the raw old age. So, I went to see Sidney Powell. It was uh, I wanted to leave there feeling really inspired that the old Kraken was going to get something done and all of that. Um, that was not the case, quite frankly. Um, she basically just validated everything that we pretty much already knew. There were some things that she shared that I think were important to put out. One being that for all these people that are putting out videos and sharing about all the executions and the tribunals that are going on at Gitmo and all of that, it's not happening. There are no trials for these criminals in this country. None. There's no executions, no secret tribunals. It's not happening. So, for all of you people spreading that disinformation, you're not being helpful. Stop it. There are really important things that are going on that you should be focused on, but that isn't one of them. It's not happening. Number one. Number two, um, she was asked about uh, news sources. Where should we be getting our news? And the first thing out of her mouth was War Room. War Room is on America's, let me see what that's called. Real America's Voice. It's an app you can get on your phone. You can go to warroom.org and you can listen there. They're live from 9 to 11 Central Time, and then again at 4 o'clock Central Time. That's 5 days a week, and then on Saturday mornings as well. So, also OAN was one of them that she named. Um, Anything you're getting on the mainstream news now is basically all coming straight from the CCP. It's all being funded by the pharmaceutical companies out of China, basically. It's just propaganda. Shut it off. Don't even listen to it. Um, Another thing that she talked about were the lawsuits, and Dominion and Smartmatic have both sued her for billions of dollars. Those lawsuits at this point are going forward. Um, the governor of Michigan has brought a lawsuit to the tune of, I don't know, 100 something thousand dollars, chump change compared to the billions. But what she feels optimistic about in this is that the disclosure is revealing what she already knew. And she sounds optimistic that their own disclosure will prove her point and she'll prevail in all of that. The other thing that she talked about was Executive Order 13848. And that was an executive order that President Trump signed, where the DNI would look at the election within 45 days and provide a report. As we know, that did not get done in a timely fashion. Uh, it was done, but they had enough evidence prior to that 45 days where he could have executed that executive order to uh, subpoena or what is the word I'm looking for? What's the English word? Um, where they could have uh, gotten all of the machines and quarantined them for an audit. That was not done. And he did not follow up on that. So she talked about those meetings. She was in those meetings, and the vipers that surround Donald Trump were there. He had concerns, and it said he was going to appoint her to be in charge of this whole election integrity thing. And basically, they laughed at him, told him he could appoint whoever he wanted, but it wasn't going to matter. So basically, he forfeited his power to execute that executive order in a timely fashion so that we would not be in the shitstorm we're in right now, quite frankly. What concerns me about that is that he's still surrounded by those very same suits and vipers, and we're all just cheering him on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is not okay. If he's taking advice from people that tell him not to execute an executive order that protects the integrity of our elections, which is the most important and the very foundation of our republic, and he's going to listen to that crap, and he's sitting down in Mar-a-Lago having dinner with them and then going to rallies and talking about what all this great team he's got, I want to tell you, I'm scared. For the first time in my adult life, I am really scared for our country. The military is not in control. They are not going to save us. I do not believe John F. Kennedy Jr. is alive. He is not coming to save us. There are no saviors. Get up, wash the sleep out of your eyes, and look in the freaking mirror, because you are it. You and whoever your tribe is it. That's all we got. You better get your head wrapped around that. There are no saviors coming to bail us out of this mess. None. Sidney also spoke briefly about Mike Lindell's symposium that will be happening in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the 10th, 11th, and 12th, I believe, of this month. He has invited 5,000 news, state, and federal officials. It's not open to the public. It will be aired live, but he's also offered $5 million to anybody to prove that the data that he has showing that primarily China interfered in our elections is not true, that he will pay them $5 million. I would say that's someone that's pretty damn confident that the information he has is good. How that changes things in the long run, I don't know. But what I find very curious about all of this is that at the same time that this symposium is happening and it's about time for the Arizona audit results to come out. Now there's chatter from well-placed sources within the White House that on the 11th of this month, there's going to be an announcement about another nationwide shutdown. Those aren't my sources. I have no way to confirm or deny that information. But yeah, we need to be paying attention to that. My best advice, based on several videos that I've seen from across the country of people filming their shopping adventures, primarily at Walmart. And you have to understand that Walmart has their own warehouses. They buy in bulk. They have their own truck drivers, and they have their own trucks. And things are pretty sketchy at Walmart. Whole freezer aisles empty. No water. Produce everywhere, if it's even there, is bad. So you need to get groceries, and you need to get them now while you can. Get staples: flour, sugar, salt, baking soda, yeast, pasta, rice, beans, canned meats. If they lock this country down again, it's going to make COVID lockdowns look like a walk in the park. It's going to look like a Sunday picnic by comparison. You need to get stocked up. You need to get seeds. They are paying farmers that have as little as 100 acres. They're offering them 1.5 times the payment for their crops to destroy their crops. Those crops that aren't destroyed have already been destroyed, either in the South by floods or everywhere else by drought. We are going to have a food problem. And if you don't do something right now to take care of yourself and your family, you are not going to survive. Period. It's not going to be good. We already have disruptions in our supply line. We still have cargo ships sitting on both our coasts waiting to come into docks to unload, and they can't do it because they don't have enough trucks to haul the cargo from the docks. So they're sitting there waiting to be unloaded. I talked to a truck driver. I went down to see Scott Pressler in Sioux Falls a few weeks ago at the motel. There was a truck driver there, and I said, "Hey, you're a truck driver? I got some questions for you, because I'm hearing this, and this, and I want to know, you're there, you're in it. What does this look like?" And this is what he told me. They can't get their tractors repaired. They can't buy trailers. They've had a massive number of truckers retiring, and they can't get enough truck drivers trained and on the road to make up for the ones that are retired. He also said that 6 years ago, he bought his tractor, for $42,000. And he is now being offered $62,000 for that same truck. We can't, the components for the computer chips that go in these vehicles, that go in computers, that go in damn near everything we have now. Can't get them. It presents a problem. So, on top of food not being produced, and on top of things not being moved in supply chain, it's going to be compounded with people dying from the jab that aren't going to be showing up for work to treat your water or keep your power grid up or your grocery stores open or your medical personnel that have been forced to be jabbed showing up at work. You need to get your head around that and you need to do something. Nobody is coming to save you. Okay. Let's see. Next thing. Okay. Uh, Yesterday on the War Room, it was reported that in Boston, a biotech expert had her 14-year-old child removed from her home because she refused to vaccinate him. Now she's fighting in the court system to prevent the state from jabbing him against her will. They are going to start coming after your kids. You need to be prepared for that. When social services knocks on your door, you are not obliged or obligated to open the door. You are not obliged or obligated to let them in your home. You are not obliged or obligated to give any medical information about your minor children or yourself to anyone. It is a violation of HIPAA. We have laws for a reason. Don't let them manipulate you with fear or you're going to lose your job. Let them fire your ass, collect the unemployment, and then sue them. Period. Don't consent. Quit consenting. This is going to go on and on and on for as long as we consent. Quit being a baby. Put your big boy and big girl panties on, pull them up, strap your boots up, and act like freaking adults and free Americans. Quit letting them manipulate you with fear. You know, I'm not a church-going person, but I'm here to tell you there are two things. One is love, one is fear, and they cannot dwell in the same body. You got one or the other. You're either going to stand up and you're going to fight for this country and you're going to be a patriot. And if you need some kind of hint about how to do that, turn on that idiot box and look at what's going on in Paris and take notes. You know, for years, I've seen, all these patriots and militia masturbating with their big guns on YouTube about how badass they are, how they're going to save the country. Well, here we are a decade down the road, and look at the shit stew that we're all roasting in. Where are they? What'd they do for our country? We have military, U.S. military, landing planes on our highways in this country for the first time ever. Why? Why are they fortifying our National Guard bases? I'm telling you, you people need to pop your heads out of your rear ends and you need to start using some real critical thinking. And you need to start taking action. Quit sitting on social media talking all about what you are and what you're going to do, and get your ass up and do it. Because if you don't, you're not going to have a country. You're not going to be alive. Your children and your grandchildren aren't going to have a country to grow up in. This is serious. You know, we literally are being spoon-fed Chinese communism in this country, and everybody just wants to sit on social media and take selfies. Well, I can't wait a month from now or until we get to about November or December. See how that's freaking working out for you. We live in a really volatile time on so many levels. But I'm telling you, if you think for one freaking second that we aren't sitting waiting for any kind of false flag that they can use to change the news cycle when all of this audit stuff comes out, you're delusional. Flat up, straight up delusional. If you think the military's in control, go listen to the last couple of interviews that Milley did. He's too damn busy teaching critical race theory to our military and trying to jab them than to train them how to even put out a goddamn fire on a battleship so it burns up in dock in San Diego. Whole ship full of fucking Navy. And they can't put out a fire? Are you serious? Wake up. The military is not in control. And if they are, I'm even more scared because they're completely and utterly incompetent. Jesus Christ, people. And who gives a shit even if John F. Kennedy Jr. is alive? If that son of a bitch was going to do something, he would have done it by now. And he hasn't. Donald Trump's not going to save us either, as long as he's got Mark Meadows like this in his damn ear. Not going to happen. President Trump is not surrounded by anyone that has ever bothered to go and buy a homeless veteran a cup of coffee and sat down and had a conversation with them. He's not sitting at Mar-a-Lago having dinner with anyone who's ever walked into a domestic violence shelter and bought a pair of slippers and a robe for a woman who's fighting for her life, trying to save her kids. The FDA is completely and utterly incompetent. Oh, yeah. Oh, speaking of the FDA, in this infrastructure bill, they're trying to take away our ability to buy supplements and vitamins, including garlic and turmeric, of all things, without a prescription from a doctor. If you are not on the phone burning the line up in DC to your senators, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. Take a selfie of you on the phone, calling your legislators and lighting a fire under their ass to vote no on that garbage. You know what else is in that infrastructure bill? Oh, now our emergency responders, EMTs, firefighters, police, are going to have to be trained in how to do bike repairs in case of a national emergency. Go read it. 3,000 pages of garbage and more debt for infrastructure that provides absolutely no infrastructure whatsoever. Our electric grid in this country has not been upgraded for 80 years. We do not have the capacity to build electric car stations all over the country and then power them with solar and wind. So, because that's their priority, who do you think is going to get the power? The power stations that are charging electric cars or your home? Just asking for a friend. Seriously, people, you need to be burning up the lines at the White House. Call your senators, every damn one of them, Democrat and Republican. They do not want us to be educated. They do not want us to have any control over our own health and well-being. They do not want us to have control over our finances. Yeah, that's another story I'll tell you about the bank. So I got a call. Oh, did you hear that they're talking about cyber attacks on the bank? Wow. Okay. That's something to make note of. The banks go down, that means no credit cards, no go to the grocery store unless you got cash, but they probably won't even open because nobody uses cash anymore. No trucks are going to move. They use credit cards to fuel. Then the next day I hear Wells Fargo, the third largest bank in the United States, has now just shut down their personal lines of credit and their investment credit lines. Shut them down. Okay, now you got my attention. The next day I go to the grocery store. I want $10 change back. Could I get that in quarters, please? No, I'm sorry. We have a change shortage. I said, what do you mean we have a change shortage? Yeah, we don't have change. You can go to the bank right there. They're still open. So I go over to the bank, nice little guy named Charlie, give him my $10 bill and ask him if I can buy a roll of quarters. He gives me a roll of quarters and I said, hey, Charlie, why do they have a change shortage 3 feet over there and you don't? He said, oh, but we do. He said, we haven't been able to get coinage from the Federal Reserve for over 2.5 weeks. This is by design. Got to wake up, put some coffee on, pull up your panties. I don't know what the answer is, except to do everything that you financially and physically are capable of doing at this moment in time to prepare yourselves as best you can with food, water, medicinals, over the counter. Fill up your prescriptions right now while you can. And go to the frontline doctors. They will prescribe you hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin or both. Costs a little money, but you got it. Fill those prescriptions so you've got what you need in case you get sick. If you go to their hospital, you're going to die. They're going to kill you. Can't trust them. They've all been jabbed, and they're going to be shedding their spikes all over you. Cruise ship, Carnival Cruise Line. Every employee on that ship and every person on that ship was vaccinated. They're out in the middle of freaking nowhere, and there's a COVID outbreak on that ship. I think the jab is the Delta variant. It's my opinion. I don't know. But I'm here to tell you we got some problems. You're not gonna hear it on the news. They're not gonna tell you you better get food now while you still can. They're not going to tell you that every single grain, including hay, in this country is going to be shipped to China because of the trade deal we had with them. I don't know. You have no power if you give it up, if you consent. Okay, so Sidney Powell, if you want more information about what's going on with the court filings, the audits, and all of that, you can go to defendingtherepublic.org. If you're interested in the lawsuits and that are being looked at under the Nuremberg codes, and or you want to get hydroxychloroquine or ivermectin, or however you say it, you can go to americasfrontlinedoctors.org, and there's more information there. Seeds. If you can find any heritage or organic seeds, get them. They are going to be worth their weight in gold, literally. Probably the best barter item that you could have at the moment. And your life may depend on it. I know at Sam's Club, you can get 5-gallon buckets of sprouting seeds. I don't remember what I paid for mine, but I would highly recommend that you get that. You know, people stock up, they get canned foods. If you try and survive on canned foods, you're going to die of malnutrition in 30 days. You have to have live food. And at least if you have those sprouts, you've got live food. Yeah, it's getting more and more difficult to find good quality dehydrated food because it's being sold out. But if you can get your basic supplies and then supplement that with what you can grow. I live in an apartment, and on my balcony, I'm growing tomatoes, peas, green beans, green onions, spinach, cilantro, basil, mint, strawberries. I grow greens in the house. People go, I don't have room to put a garden. You can do a wall garden with pallets. There's a ton of YouTube videos about 1,000 different ways that you can garden. A lot, I mean, literally in your home, you can set up a small aquaponic or hydroponic system and at least grow something. We are spoiled and lazy in this country because we can just flip a switch on and the lights come on. We can turn the faucet and the water comes on. We can just open the refrigerator and just grab some food to cook on a stove that'll turn on. If you think that those systems that you take for granted every damn day for your quality of life aren't in a state of about to be compromised, I want to know what you're smoking because I'd like to go to that dreamland for a bit too. Jesus Christ, people. Wake up. Wake up. I don't know what else to say. If you don't care enough about yourself and your family to do something to stop this train wreck, at the very least, making phone calls to those asshats in that corporation of the District of Criminals. If you don't care enough about yourself and your family to buy some cleaning supplies, some toilet paper, and some food, maybe a water filter, I don't know what to tell you. You're not a patriot. Don't tell me you're a patriot. I'm sick of hearing about how, oh, I'm a patriot. Then get up off your ass and start doing some patriot shit while we still have a country to fight for. I'm old and I'm tired. And I'm frustrated. And sometimes my head hurts from the research. It feels like it's just going to go. But you know what? I get up every freaking day and I do something. Sharing memes on social media is not going to save this country. Thinking that people are being executed after military tribunals at Gitmo is not saving this country. Thinking the military is in control is not saving this country. Thinking John F. Kennedy is going to miraculously appear from the dead and do what miraculous thing, I don't know, to save our country. You are mentally freaking ill. It's a distraction. I don't know what to tell you about your delusional thinking. I know there are a lot of people that are just now getting it. But I want to tell you, I've been doing this research since 1974. I was protesting and I was going to rallies in this early 70s, in the 80s, the 90s. I've been doing this longer than some of you have even been freaking alive. People go, oh, you just need to do the research. I've done more research than I care to admit. I probably, oh my God, people, You have to do something now. You have to do something. Call your senators today. Call them today. Probably no one's going to answer, but leave a message. Blow up their phones. Blow them up. Send them emails. Tell them to vote no on this nonsense of this infrastructure bill. First. Second thing that you do is you don't consent to their tyranny and their medical malpractice. No government official is your physician. They have no authority and no right, no employer, no grocery store. No one has the right to make medical decisions for you. That is between you and your medical care provider. Full stop. And if you subject yourself to that, good luck. I have no damn sympathy. When people start dropping like flies, I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care anymore. If you're that damn stupid, maybe you're in a better place. I want to tell you, many years ago, some of you know this and some of you don't, but I spent a good many years living on 2 different Indian reservations. And my son's grandpa was a holy man and a Sundance chief. And he would go every year to these prophecy meetings with elders and holy men and shaman, whatever you want to call them, from all over the world. These people would come. And they would talk about, their prophecies or their visions or whatever. So this, I believe, was in 2002. A man from Guatemala named Don Alejandro wept as he shared the prophecy that I'm going to tell you right now that he shared. He said that something is coming and that it is going to be so bad that the dead will be stacked mountain high and there won't be enough living left to bury the dead. Yeah, you just sit with that for a minute. These doctors are saying everyone that's been jabbed will probably be dead in 2 to 3 years. I don't know, I don't know what to say. Anyway, I hope you all have a richly blessed week. I would really appreciate it. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can join the Facebook group where I do post updates, and these videos also air live there. I have a YouTube channel. It's in the link. If you like the content or you want to support what I do, links are in the description box. If you have questions, if you have information that you want me to put out, you can comment. I read the comments and I do respond. You can also reach me at morningbrew@hotmail.com. That is my email address, morningbrew@hotmail.com. And also, if you are running for an office, if you are a volunteer for someone who is running for office and you want more information about how to be effective, boots on the ground, supporting those efforts, please reach out to me. I am willing to do private Zoom or Skype calls to do trainings for those volunteers on how to do that in a way that you don't get caught up in legal stuff and that that wins elections. So I'm available for that. There's a window of time for that. I do have the time to do that right now. After the 11th, when Biden announces that he's going to lock down our country again, and he's going to mandate everybody be vaccinated or whatever it is. No, I won't be available then. But just so you know that I'm there, and I am available. So get food, get seeds, get a water filter or something to purify your water with. Have a backup plan for your power or how you're going to live without it. Get your over-the-counter stuff. Fill your prescriptions. Call your senators. And beyond that, I don't know what to tell you. Call the online doctors, americasonlinedoctors.org, and defendingtherepublic.org. You can check those two sites out. Yeah, buckle up. That's all I can say. So I hope you all have a good week. I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but I think it's time for a reality check. I think people really need to start taking some personal responsibility and quit deluding themselves with the fact that they think somebody else is going to come and save them so they don't have to do anything. There is nobody coming. You are the savior. Whatever you do is all we got. So please do something, even if it's wrong. Just do it. Anyway, thank you for joining me. And yeah, if you want more information, if you've got comments or you need help with anything that I can help with, I'm more than willing to share that information now while I'm still available to do that. But if this goes down, I'm going to be off grid. I'm not going to be doing this. So I won't be available then to share any insight or information. But I am now available and I'm willing to do that. So do the best you can. Don't live in fear. Walk in love. Be kind. Be kind. We're dealing with stupid on an unprecedented level, but you just have to have pity and, just bless their hearts. That's, I don't know what else. But you cannot not do what you need to do because everybody else isn't. Because you are all we've got now. You and me. That person looking back at you in the mirror every day. That's what we've got to save our country. The supply line, believe me when I tell you, it's compromised. Believe me when I tell you the food supply is compromised. You need to get food. You need to get seeds. You will not be able to depend on the grocery stores. Please, please do something. All right. See ya. Have a good week.